Hey folks, good Saturday morning. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. A quick look at radar made possible by Brown's Roofing as we join you live at about 4 o'clock on this Saturday morning. And again, most of our precipitation and what we've seen so far has been fairly light. And again, full disclosure, as you take a look at the radar, that a lot of the moisture and a lot of the precipitation we've been dealing with is going to be rather shallow. So sometimes a lot of that stuff can kind of, for lack of a better term, sneak under the radar. And so a lot of what we've seen has been relatively light here in the last couple of hours. And as you take a look at our different radar vantage points from the National Weather Service in Little Rock, most of the precipitation that's more sustained has been north of Highway 278. Then you bounce over to the National Weather Service in Shreveport's radar. And again, still plenty of backfilling continuing to be had. Even into East Texas, we're actually starting to see that moisture become more widespread. And so, again, I expect freezing rain to more than likely become more widespread across the region, along and north of I-20, as we head through the morning hours, really during the pre-dawn hours on this Saturday. So, again, there's going to be a kind of a changeover from precipitation to more sustained precipitation, from freezing drizzle and light freezing rain to more just freezing rain as we go through the morning hours. And there will be a lull a little bit later today. A look at temperatures across the area. Again, many spots have been below freezing for hours now. El Dorado's at 24, Camden's at 21, Monticello's at 21. So again, a lot of areas are already kind of dropping below freezing and set to stay below freezing through early next week. We're at 32 at the Monroe Airport, but right now, as I take a look at the Mesonet, which is operated by the University of Louisiana Monroe, plain dealings at 27.6, Homer 27.6, Dubach 28.5, Mer Rouge 28.8, Farmerville 28.8, Lake Providence 30.4, Monroe at ULM 30.5, Ringgold 30.8, Jonesboro 31.8, Eris 31.9. These are all areas that are now below freezing. Delhi is at 32.7, Alto at 32.8, Columbia 33.3. And I know that sounds silly to sit here and go by decimal points to these temperatures, but again, a fraction of a degree above freezing versus a fraction of a degree below freezing means a pretty big difference for much of the area. And I know a lot of folks have already been commenting about the wind, saying that it will grab your attention if you're not paying attention if you step outside this morning, and that is no lie. Most of us seeing sustained winds in the 15 to 20 mile an hour range, and you factor that in with the very cold temperatures and the wind chill, the apparent temperature, the feels like, whatever you want to slice it, is quite chilly across the region. Power outages so far. Drew County's had one little blip, if you will. Columbia County's had those small blips at times through the morning hours. We've had one in Warren County. I wouldn't be surprised if these may be wind-related, but they're more than likely not going to be winter weather-related, at least for the one in Warren County. So we'll keep an eye on those as we go through the rest of the day. A check of road conditions. Again, Highway 278. Highway 82. Some of these areas are starting to probably become fairly deeply impacted by what's ongoing across the region. I'll switch over and just kind of take a glance at what's going on with some of our RDOT cameras. And I can't really see a whole lot of traffic, so again, there's not a whole lot I can really take into account there. Check of road temperatures. And again, anything below 32 is bad news. So, again, you start to see those pavement temperatures falling, and I would expect conditions to deteriorate gradually from northwest to southeast as we continue through this Saturday. Futurecast shows the precipitation. I keep saying precipitation just because I'm so used to seeing different types when we have a winter storm unfold across the area. But it's all freezing rain, expected to become widespread as we head toward daybreak, and then continuing through midday fairly widespread, especially along and north of I-20. As I've been mentioning, I wouldn't be surprised to hear a few rumbles of thunder as we go through the day. We will have a lull in that freezing rain tonight, not completely shut it off, but we will have a lull in a lot of that activity tonight before it becomes more widespread through the early morning hours of Sunday. A look at the ice storm warning and how it sits currently across the region. The entire ArkLaMiss, aside from 4 counties in southern Arkansas, Ouachita, Bradley, Calhoun, and Drew, the entire area is under an ice storm warning. Those 4 counties under a winter storm warning. All of that leading you to the same general takeaway, that accumulating ice and wintry precipitation of some sort will continue to create issues in terms of travel concerns and the possibility for infrastructure issues, power outages, and things of that sort as we continue through this weekend, then followed by extreme cold that will keep us below freezing through at least Tuesday morning for most locations. Again, the forecast is always available at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the Digital Weather Desk app. I'm checking the comments. I think most folks are probably pretty glassy-eyed and just kind of getting a look at the forecast this morning and then just want to head on back to bed. Again, so far, at least here in the last couple of hours, most of the precipitation that we've seen has been quite light, but I would expect an uptick in that off to the west as we continue through sunrise tomorrow morning. I will let you know when our next live stream is. We may skip the 6 a.m. stream or maybe hop over onto the odd hours, but regardless, we'll continue to provide frequent updates, and I'll let you know when the next live stream will be scheduled to be. A lot of folks are probably just going to wait till sunrise to join us again, and I totally understand that. Of course, like I said, the forecast is always available on the app and at digitalweatherdesk.com. And we'll keep you updated as we go through the rest of this Saturday. Again, I really want to, I may take us, this is a marathon, not a sprint, so we may kind of skip the 6 a.m. time frame. But I don't know. I'll let you know. Because we also have to kind of set the schedule for the next several live streams to go across the area. Again, forecast is always available on the web and on the app. I'll check in with you here in a couple of hours. And thanks so much for making the Digital Weather Desk powered by CenturyNext Bank part of your day. As always, I'm so glad you're here, and we'll keep you updated as this ice storm unfolds across the ArkLaMiss through this weekend.